Hi, I'm Trevor. I'm the coach for the Cork Strength and Performance Centre and the head coach for the Cork City Powerlifting Club. I'm going to go through a few things today on the bench. Just a few technique issues I've seen pop up over a few times over the last few months. We're going to have Richard here go down, do a few benches for us. We're going to talk him through doing a few things and adjusting things like leg drive, grip, and breathing. So jump in and do a few reps. So the first thing we do is we're going to get our shoulders set, pull them down towards the glutes. Get a slight arch in it. Put the tight. Big breath. Good, and throw back. So, all we're going to do is two things. I want you to breathe sharper. I want you to stick your tongue through the roof of your mouth and breathe sharper. As the bars come up, breathe like that. I also want you to let your glutes relax, so I want the bump to go soft, and I want you to try to kick up the bench. So get your grip again. So, shoulders down, I want your lats engaged, I want your wrist straight, I want you to pull down to your chest. Kick. There we go, and again. Kick. And again. Good, throw back. Okay. Now what we're seeing here, instead of kicking up into the bench, he's kicking directly down to the floor. So instead of going upwards, his hips are just coming up. I want him to drive straight up the bench, so go again. Big breath, I want you to pause on your chest. Tighten up, straighten your wrist, pull the bar down, big breath. Come down and pause. Pull up the bench. And again, big breath, sharper breath. Kick up. Good, that was better. Throw back. So there what we had was, instead of using the leg drive to kick into the ground, was to kick up the bench. And you can see there was a bit more power, the bar moved in a better line. That'll do for now, I think.
Should I?
Take the top anyway, just get used to it.
1, 2, 3. Over.
Good, and throw back, just one. Now, what we're going to do there is, once you take the bar out, you've got to bring it into its light place. So wherever you find it, the bar is going to have a place where it's going to feel lighter than others. Just let the bar float down into it, get tight where you are, and I want you to watch where the bar is. When you bring it down, I want you to keep your eyes in that line. So pick a line in the wall, keep your eyes there, and bring it back to that place. So we go again. Good, nice and steady, big breath.
1, 2, 3.
Good. Shoulders down. Keep the eyes locked. Kick. Good, and throw back. Excellent, that was better. Now, again with the kicking, you've gone too close to the bench, so you can see your shoulders come in line with the pins. I want you to come down a little bit, so set up again, take your full setup, put your grip, and I want you to pull out of the bench. In the idea anyway, that follows our rules, is we come out, we get our arch, we then pull our shoulders down to our ribs, and we slide up into the bench. And you always want to stop and make sure that you're clear of here. The two issues we see often enough is that you're too far down the bench, so the bar has to travel about a foot, or you're too in close, so you're going to end up hitting the pin. So you always want to find that nice comfortable place where you're only about 2 or 3 inches away from it, that you're not going to hit it, and you don't have to travel very far.
2, 3.
Shoulders down, feet planted, everything tight, pull the bar, kick. Good, throw back. Now, you can see as well there when Rich has got the bar, his knuckles go white, squeezing the bar as hard as we can. Good, so I want you to grab your bar. So we're going to again take the grip, get the setup. Now, with finding the hand position on the bar, we're going to use it. Usually I'll get people to use their thumb first to find the most neutral position. We measure from the line. On a powerlifting bar, it's a little bit different than an ollie bar. It's what you're usually going to find anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to measure out from the thumb, then get our grip, so it squeeze onto it. Thumbs around the bar 90% of the time. Going to pull the shoulders down, going to bring the bar out, then you're going to bring it down to the chest and pause. Now, what we're looking for, as you can see here, is the off angle here. We're looking to make sure that the bar is coming straight up, from a straight line over the elbows, that the lats can stay tight, shoulders stay down, that the glutes can be engaged from the position as well of the feet. So then Owen's going to kick up the bench and fire the bar. Good. I'm going to bring it down again, pause it again, bring it back to that same place, got the elbow underneath the wrist, the bar directly over the wrist, kick again. Good. Now you see the way your glutes go off just before she kicks. What we're trying to get Owen to do is to kick directly up the bench, so bring it down again. Kick. Yeah. Owen is sending it back in a JR, it's not a bad thing. We're actually going to bring it out though, and going straight down from here. Up, finish over the shoulder. So we always want to finish in the place where the bar is at its lightest. So when we save the bar, let it come down a bit. So it's getting heavier and heavier, we go back. It's a little bit lighter here, starts getting heavier as we go back. And heavy again. So we come back into that. This is where we're going. This is the place we know to return to. This is where she's going to lock her eyes. Going to stay here, so the bar is going to come down. Kick. Good. Now the big breath as well. Normally I'm getting people to breathe into their belly. For the bench, both. I want you to fill your chest and your stomach full of air as much as you possibly can. Just come down. Good. Kick. Good. And again. So as we're going through it, I want Orla to kick, so she's moving up the bench. There we go. And again. Good. And again. Good. Now we're going to make sure as well we're finishing with our shoulders down. So we don't want to increase the range of motion, we want to decrease it for powerlifting. So we're going to come up. As we're coming up, we're going to make sure the shoulders stay down. So come down again. Good. Keep those shoulders down. Go again. That's a bit better. All together. Good. Now, what we also want to make sure is the control. If you see a bar bouncing off someone's chest, no control. At competition, you get a faster turnaround if the bar touches softly and under control. So you come down, up, and again. Now, bend the bar, just like we talked about before. Good. And throw back. Good. To actually go heavy. Well, heavy for Orla. We're going to go through it and we're going to be trying to figure out where she's starting to break down. We're going to see if we can fix a few other little issues that pop up. Might help some other people out there. So big breath. Bar out. Pull it down. Kick. Now, there's a big arc there. An arc isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially for some lifters it's actually beneficial. But when you're going that large of an arc, you're going to very likely end up hitting the pins and it's not going to benefit you at all. So today we've gone through a few of the issues we've seen. One of the major issues is lat engagement in the wrong way. A lot of people here at the cube bend the bar, and what they're doing is they're bending the bar away from them, so it'll actually point directly up if they're lying on the bench. Just come down, if you see the stick in my hand, bending it goes up. That's a poor bending of the bar when you're trying to do for the bench press. It should bend towards your face and keep it tight from there. It'll keep yourself in a better position, and you're less likely to end up with an over-tucked position with the elbows at the bottom. So when we come down and we're over tucked, we're at a mechanically disadvantaged position. There's not as much pressure we can apply to the bar outwards if we're coming from inside the bar. Whereas if you grip on the bar and you come down and your elbows are directly underneath it, it's a lot easier to apply force. It's a lot easier to direct your leg drive through it as well. The issues we've seen with leg drive normally is that people are going to hit their legs straight into the floor. So when we have the bar out, someone goes for leg drive, they go straight up rather than back. What we want to do is we want to send the body directly behind us. So we're going back and moving the bar. Now we're keeping our lats engaged the whole time, but we let our glutes go. So our legs are stiffened to the floor and we're kicking diagonally downwards and pushing the body up. So it's moving this direction every time. So the reason we have the bands is because of that. If we're going to do multiple reps of it, it's easy to move up the bench slowly, so we want to have the bands to stop us from moving on the bench itself. Right guys, what I commonly see as well is people would seem to wrap their wrists in a very strange way, where the wrist wrap will seem to go directly underneath the wrist, and it doesn't offer any support there. It looks pretty, doesn't do anything. So what I want you to do, and what I tell all my lifters to do, is we get our pinky, put it directly underneath it. Bring it right across so it's underneath the knuckle here. Pull it right over the pinky again. Come down, now we're keeping it very tight. Pin it to your chest, pull across again, right around, and pull into position. Now, I've got very little movement, but decent blood flow. So I can't move my wrist, but I can move my fingers, so I can still squeeze the bar as tight as I can, without it interfering with my movement. This will keep my wrist straight and make it much easier to push straight through the bar, without wasting any energy in the way of the small arc. So when you're pushing up and your wrist is bent, you're pushing backwards usually, and if you're pushing straight, you're pushing inefficiently. With both of them on, as well as the height is important depending on what federation you're lifting with. Most of our lifters lift with the IFPA. Because of that, we got 4 centimeters above and 8 centimeters below is the maximum legal width and distance that the wrap can travel. So you see, every time you wrap them, they should always be the same on both sides. So you're getting the same amount of resistance on either side. It'll make it much easier to keep tight and much better position overall.